Yo, what's good, y'all? Respect my nerds in the building. Yo, we finna turn up. Give me 2 seconds. All right, y'all. I gotta drink some water. Nah, man. I'm just teasing. What's good, y'all? Respect my nerds. Hey, interview 4. Get them fours up. Fours up. Yo, today we get to interview Mr. Keithan Jones. I am huge advocate for this man. Because his artwork is amazing, his content is amazing, and I have a lot of respect for Mr. Keithan Jones. We're about to get him to join this interview right now. We're going to interview him today about kid comics and also the Power Nights. I'm very excited because I got to make a purchase that normally don't get made, and he did that for me. I guess because I'm a special kind of Negro. You know what I'm saying? For the Power Nights. I want to read more, and that's why we got Mr. Keithan Jones. Tell us more. Yay!
What's up, bro?
Mr. Keithan Jones, how you doing? How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
You good? All right, man. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's get with this interview, man. So, you started doing comics when you were 11 years old, correct?
Yes, sir. 11. I was inspired by Teen Titans back in the 1980s, back in the ancient times.
Wow, yeah, I know, right?
I know you're young, and I'm up there. But yeah, man, I was inspired by Teen Titans and Star Wars and all that good stuff. Growing up in the 80s, that's where, and you know, that's where my sensibilities come from.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed that like with the Power Knights, like how it's like space oriented, and I'll ask that question later on. But now that's cool, man. Were you more of a drawer or were you more of a writer? You know what I'm saying? Or you did like everything. You drew like the little bars and you colored and drew everything in. You had somebody do that for you. Like, how did that process come about?
You mean back in the day, or?
Yeah, back in the day. Back
then. Excuse me. Back then, I was just trying to mimic what I saw. I would like look at it like a science. I would break it down like a scientist. I didn't necessarily understand how actual printing was done back then, so I would just basically get a magnifying glass out or something and zoom in on the print, and I noticed there was dots making up the colors. And I didn't realize that's just from the machine, so I would actually sit there and make dots with crayons.
You tripping?
Or,
that's too
yeah, or find some type of surface that had that type of pattern and color over that to get that texture. Not realizing that's just the way that's just coming from the machine back then. But as far as I was concerned, I was just trying to mimic as close as possible to a real comic book.
Right.
You know, using my limited knowledge and tools and my crayons and my stapler and some typing paper.
Right. That's dope. So what did you come up with the name the Power Knights? Like, did that come from like the Power Rangers? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I don't even think the Power Rangers existed when I created. You gotta remember, this is back
that
in.
Is true. Right.
Yeah, this is back in the early '80s. So I don't even think the Power Rangers or whoever were even conceived of yet.
Right. It was the shaman writers. I forget their names, but yeah. But what did you get the name Power Knights from?
Again, go back to Teen Titans. I was trying to get something close to like the Teen Titans. They were Titans, and I was like, I wanted something epic sounding like that. And so I came across Knights, threw the power in there, and there you go.
There you go. Okay, so who is Davian Watson in your perspective? Was that like a friend, or that just a name you came up with? You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw you. Who is David Watson?
The character Damian Watson.
I'm sorry.
He's the older brother of the. There's two brothers they're just regular folks. They don't have any powers or anything like that. And they're two brothers. The younger one is called Keithan Watson. The older is Davian. His older brother's Davian. And their father just he recently passed due to cancer. But he didn't tell the two boys what he was going through because of pride, and just didn't want to, and he was basically fighting the what do you call it? He had a silent battle going on with this. Basically just doing it, trying to take care of it himself. Then eventually he passed away. So the older brother, Davian, the one you asked about, he took the responsibility of taking, raising his younger brother, even though he himself is still very young and still finding out how to deal with things himself. And so the two of them, I don't want to say they grew apart, but Davian started to wander off, and because of anger issues and just not knowing really how to deal with all this stuff, he kind of fell in with the bad crowd. Right. And unknown to him, one of the people, the crowd that he fell into was led by one of our villains in the story, who's not from Earth.
Warseed.
Yeah, Warseed. He's basically fronting as a human and fronting to be a philanthropist and this this scientist who came up, well, not scientist, but this miracle doctor that came up with the cure to a bunch of ailments and things like that, and a new way to live life in society. Mm-hmm. So he started to get grow a following, basically. Mm-hmm. And so, like a lot of groups in real life, a lot of these cult groups, they take young people who are insecure about themselves. They tell them a lot of stuff they want to hear, and they seduce them into joining these groups. Right. So that's how he's basically operating.
Right. And see, that's like the gist of it all. Like you got to be careful with who you look down on, because just because you see somebody that may be down and out in one part of their life doesn't mean that they're going to always be like that, or doesn't mean that they're not as smart as you can be when they get the same type of resources that you get. And that's why I kind of like David. He kind of reminds me of the Punisher a little bit, I think that was issue 3 when he decided to name himself the Rebellion, and he went out to like the old gang that was chasing him and trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Now they revives himself. He's like, all right, I'm ready to whoop some ass now. He kind of like an Avenger a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, his motivations are a little more selfish, though. He's not your prototypical, like, he's not like Batman, where Batman's out there, Batman's running off the anger of what happened to his parents, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's trying to take it out on all criminals and trying to basically force, clean up Gotham himself and do it in his manner. Whereas Davian, my character, it's more of a personal beef between him and the people he thinks ruined his life.
Right.
And it doesn't really go beyond that at this point in his life.
Mm-hmm. So he has 2 nuclear explosives on his shoulders.
No, they're you ever see a nuclear power plant? Those towers, those big cones.
Yes.
Yeah, think of it in that way. They're they're implanted in both his shoulders because in order to keep him alive, the character Dragon Blaze restructured his biological system, his body, to run off of almost a nuclear type of blood.
Okay.
And it gives him strength and power, but at the same time, he's unstable. That's why he has to wear that helmet with the red visor on it. He has to wear that helmet to stabilize his system. Otherwise he could explode.
Oh shit. Okay. Man. Okay. Let's talk about King. How you say his name?
Sinai. Yeah.
I'm glad he's black. I'm so glad he's black. Listen, don't you bring me this far.
A black villain, huh?
Black. No, he better be black or some type of black. Or I'm joking. I'm joking. But yo, shouts out Mills. Shouts out Derek Thomas. Shouts out Jerry Lee. Bryce. What's good? Mill? Yeah. Tell us about him, the King, and what happened. Go ahead.
The King Sinai's really set everything into motion. Excuse me. Without I'm not going to go into spoilers too much, but he basically is paranoid and power hungry, and so due to things that happened to him in his past, right? So he wanted to control. He literally wants to control everything. In the entire universe. So he had this sorceress who's basically his right hand woman
Mm-hmm.
mind control all the greatest warriors across the galaxy and turned them into these super knights. Well, they became known as tyrant knights.
Mm-hmm.
And they went around different worlds, conquering worlds in the king's name against their will. And one of them happened to be his daughter. So
Crazy. That's
yeah,
madness.
so eventually the Power Knights, before they become the Power Knights, they eventually got away from him, broke that spell, but they were judged to still be guilty of their crimes, and they were considered too dangerous to continue to live. So they were sentenced to death by being sent into a black hole.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they came through the other side of the black hole mysteriously and ended up here on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And they remember everything they did. They remember all the horrible stuff they did, but now they have free will to use their powers as they choose.
Right.
So they decided to count their blessings. Like, we don't know how we're alive. We're on another world. We're alive. We're going to count our blessings, and we're not going to interfere with mankind. We're just going to live reclusively among them, right?
Right.
Except Warseed, he was like, his philosophy was, well, the humans, they don't seem to be making the right decisions anyway. So why don't we just, with the power that we have, why don't we just take over Earth and secure our own destiny and basically form society the way we want it to be?
Mm-hmm.
But the other knights were like, nah. I mean, we just went through a whole life of slavery for someone else. Why would we do the same thing to these people?
Right.
They should have free will. Everyone should have free will and the ability to make their own choices, even if the choices are bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that put them in conflict with him.
Right.
And that's basically the struggle of the story. And going back to the two brothers, they get caught up in this conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And then things transpire, and we see them mature and maturate into heroes themselves.
Right. Well, see, one point you missed about Davian, when he was working for Warseed, I'm trying to remember the name that he picked to take on, like, as his mentor that he hides around humans with. It slipped my mind. I'll remember it in a second.
Who, Rebellion?
Huh?
Are you talking about Rebellion?
No. Warseed. What's his human name?
Oh,
Yeah.
Shoot, you made me forget.
I know.
You made me forget my own character's name.
I know, it'll come back to me.
Alexander Crane.
Yeah, Crane. There we go, Crane. As soon as you said it, it came back to me, a Crane. The detective that's watching them. I forget their names at the moment, but she had put Davian to spy on Crane, and then that's when he started finding out about, like, how.
Oh, you mean Detective Tripley?
Yeah.
Detective Tripley.
There we go, Tripley, and what's her friend's name? Corky something.
Oh, wow. I gave him a weird name.
Nickelbaum. It's Nickelbaum.
Yeah, Nickelbaum. Yeah.
Nickelbaum. Yeah. Tripley and Nickelbaum. There's some peculiar names to, like, remember, but no. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Crane.
It's early right now. It's still early. We're still waking up.
Okay. Yeah, but now, like, she put Davian to spy on the Crane, and that's when he found out about, because, like, I remember when I was reading the first episode, I was like, what's going on? Why does he have smoke on his own? Like, what the hell going on? Like, what's going on with him? And
you know why? Because my approach to storytelling comes from Star Wars. Okay, when you're young, but when Star Wars originally came out, it was quote unquote Episode 4, right?
Right.
But it wasn't called Episode 4. It was just called Star Wars when it originally came out. George Lucas, he went back and renamed the movies by episode. Okay, but originally Episode 4 was just Star Wars, and you didn't know what was going on in that movie either.
Right.
Darth Vader. You knew Darth Vader was the villain, but you didn't understand what motivated Darth Vader. You didn't understand why he was doing what he was doing. You didn't even understand the Empire's motivation other than power, right? but you
Right.
didn't understand why they were, going after the rebellion, and same thing with Obi-Wan, even like Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan would drop little hints about the past. So my point is, I wanted to approach the Power Knights the same way. Like, I didn't want to give it all to you in the first issue. I basically wanted to just let you come in to where it is, what's going on currently. This is what's happening now, and I'll fill you in as you continue to read.
Right. Because I want more. Like, hey, shouts out to Keith, man. I was having technical difficulties getting the e-comics, but he hooked me up. I really appreciate that. I'm going to make as many purchases as I need to for these next couple. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of feel like Dragon Blaze is gonna be like that one character who's not necessarily a main character, but you got a lot of love and respect for him. Like, I could see like kids like, "Ooh, yay, Dragon Blaze! I want to buy his toy." You know what I'm saying? So explain a little about him. Like, I want to talk about all the characters, but specifically him first.
Well, I don't think I reveal it in the issues issue 1 through 3, but
what you can,
he
like,
is
I know, like, you got to read.
he's a bit of a mystery character who he's gonna probably have his own story arc outside of this initial story, like these initial first 5 issues, because he has a whole mysterious backstory that he doesn't necessarily understand, because he's actually an android.
Right. That's what I was saying, because like I was like, how is he an android and he looks like something off of Star Trek? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Dragon,
Because
yeah, he's like
we're used to what we're used to here on Earth, as far as what we think an android or what a robot looks like.
Right.
But from there, they're far more advanced than we are. So,
right.
Even what may be skin to us may not be skin to them.
Right. That's true.
But
too.
he comes from 10. What's the right word? You know how like iPhone they're up to iPhone 10.
Yeah.
He's basically one of 10.
Ah, okay. From his universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was programmed to do a specific thing, but he's been his hardware is a little damaged. Yeah, I think my little brother, he just chimed in. He said something about Bumblebee, but kind of like Bumblebee, how Bumblebee's voice box is screwed up.
Yeah, but he's very interesting. He said he liked Bumblebee. Yeah, shouts out to Shalif. I hope I said that right. Tommy. Salif. Yeah. Okay, so Blue Zara, man. I had sent you like a bunch of stuff on Facebook Messenger. I don't even think you got it, because I know I talked.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah. Nah, yo, Twilight from Milestone. That's who I thought of, because like before I got on this crazy like trend of just trying to reach out to all different type of black comics. I had reached out to Milestone first, because I was reading all that stuff. I read Static, I read Icon, Hardware, Blood Syndicate, and the Shadow Cabinet. And she kind of reminded me of him. But then, like, when I started to look at her powers a little more, then she kind of reminded me of Spectral, or most people may know as the original Captain Marvel, Monica Bombier. Yeah. But they changed her name to Spectral like later on. If you read the Ultimates, then you could see her. But she kind of reminds me of her with her power scale. Like, tell me some things about Blue Zara.
She's a celestial being. Think of if the universe or space was put into a human form, like a body,
like Dr. Manhattan.
Something like that. I don't think I'm not completely aware of all of Manhattan's abilities, but Blue Zara's abilities are all based on what we know to be astronomy, like gravity. She has gravity power. Like if she were if a gang of dudes were heading toward her or enemies, she can basically increase the gravity pull in their field, so they would feel like they're getting heavier and heavier as they move. Until they're crushed.
Right.
She could take it that far,
She's legit.
or she could reverse it, make them light as a feather. Release the gravity pull on them.
Right. I don't want to really get into Dr. Manhattan because I really want to focus on the Power Knights.
Yeah.
Okay, so Metal Star, man, like he's made him so tiny, but he's cool because like he's really awesome. Like I really enjoy Metal Star.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Wolverine of the group. Tough guy. He's a cop, or a former cop, space cop.
Space cop.
And he was part of a group of what they called the Metal Stars. They basically patrolled the universe, or they're part of the universe anyway. And even though they're small in stature, at least in comparison to certain, depending on where they are, you could be tall in your own world, right?
Right.
But
I noticed in this comic because I was like, wait, why are you so tiny? He looks
right.
He's cool though. I like him.
Yeah, I wanted to switch it up, and I wanted to show that I didn't want to stereotype all, I don't know,
heroes, right?
Heroes and stuff, right? Like, cause heroes come in all shapes and forms.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a conscious effort for me to just like, what can I do to switch it up?
It works. No, it works. It works. So I think I'm gonna ask you about Camouflage, and then.
But I also made these. But you have to also remember, well, people don't really. I don't think a lot of people don't understand. Even though I've said it, they don't understand. Like, the Power Knights really did come from my childhood. So I'm trying not to change too much about it.
Right.
I'm trying to work with my younger self. Like, I didn't actually have a solid story in place back then, but the characters were there.
Right.
So my whole point with this whole experiment is, as an adult, I'm trying to resist changing things because I want to keep that same energy, that childhood energy within the concept, the core of it, right? Because I figured, well, if I liked it as a kid, I figured today's kids might gravitate toward it. If I keep the spirit in there.
Yeah.
But as an adult,
don't change nothing, because I just like, I'm trying to get my hands on issue 4. When the next issues come out, I'm trying to get my hands on. Don't change nothing. Continue the path that you're on. I love it. I like all of the characters because they're all unique. I like how they were all introduced. So Blue Zara, she went to go talk to Princess Roxy. Princess Roxy's like, bye. I ain't got time. I got big girl issues to worry about. She's pretty. She's got to feel important. She's a princess. So, like, bye. I ain't worried about that. And then you got Camouflage, Spinal, Warseed, or Crane, I want to say. You know what I'm saying? It's cool how everybody came together. You had Blue Zara, Metal Star, and Camouflage, all of them met up with Dragon Blaze, and they all talking to Kendall. They trying to figure out what Davian is. I like that whole scene. That was awesome. He's kind of like an Avenger. Like, he's just out on his own, doing his own thing.
Yeah.
I could really see that like being a thing. Like, the only time he works with them is when they have a dispute that they have to settle with Warseed, or like maybe in the future some outside elements, like it was said in issue 1.
Yeah, you really you got good observation there, man. Like, I'm not gonna say anything, but you're on the right path.
Damn right. You could just tell an individual when you see one, dude. Like, man, when you've been around, like when you've been around comics, you could just tell. Like, to be honest, he's kind of more like Davian's kind of more like the Wolverine kind of guy. Now, yo, what's up, Lawrence James King? Shout him out. He's kind of like Wolverine because he's very interesting. Like, I really like how y'all draw him. I like his dynamics. His mindset. He's worried about Kendall, but he's not really worried about Kendall right now. He's trying to get his own priorities and his own.
Yeah, his psyche is a little bit in and out right now. He's a little in and out, but he'll straighten out. Yeah, shout out to Lawrence. Shout out to Lawrence King, because I don't know if you know, I did a I did a commission for his Avery character.
Okay. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Lawrence King, man. Shouts out to you, comic. I'll see you, man. So let's we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon, like, man, because oh my god, I want more, but I know you can't say anything, so that's why I'm like, well, damn, like, what can I get out of them? Because like Princess Roxy, let's talk about her. So the mother died, the queen died, and that's when like the witch came and was like, ooh, blah blah blah. Corrupted the king's mind, which was probably already corrupted.
But she's kind of in love with him also.
It's one of those things.
Yeah. So the king, as bad as he is, he's got a lot of charisma, and certain women are attracted to him, or to that, or whatever.
Right.
And she's just one of those women who are.
Right. I'm trying to understand. I understand she's powerful, and after seeing her in issue 2 or 3, I think, when she came and just like shut all that, she shut everything down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Blue Zara, she's pretty strong, but if she's caught off guard, Camouflage is cool, Metal Star is cool, Dragon Blaze is cool. I really kind of wish Davian was there, because I kind of feel like Davian would have been a cool aspect too. But I really like that, like how it's setting up for them for Davian and Warseek to fight each other, because it's bound to happen. Like, Warseek is one of those people, he just wants to smoke. Like, nowadays, people who like to fight, like, he just wants to smoke. Like, he showed up like ready to fight. Like, what y'all want to do? I like Octagon too. Octagon's pretty cool, and shouts out Vegas, baby. Shouts out Purge, my man Roosevelt, shout him out. I'm gonna try to get him on interview him next week. But yeah, man, back to Princess Roxy. Like, what was that thing? What was that big ass tiger thing? Was that like energy, or was that like a spirit? Like, what was that thing?
Yeah, that's it is a spirit. It's her double-headed spear or staff, like double-bladed.
The Ozara.
The Araxi spear. The Araxi spear.
Oh, okay.
It houses 3 spirits: air, land, and sea. So there's 3 creatures inside of it, or that it transforms into when she throws it in the air, depending on what she needs. So if she needs to fly somewhere, she'll throw it in the air, and then it'll turn into the sky creature or spirit. And she'll ride that around, and then like with the one you saw was the lion looking type of thing, right? That's the land creature, and then there's a sea creature or sea spirit,
right?
And they're part of it's like a family heirloom. It's passed on through generations, and she currently has it,
right?
And she can also see through the eyes of those creatures.
Wow.
So for instance, like the sky one.
That's why she was dark. Like,
what's
that's
that?
why I was like, okay, that's why her body was dark for a second, because like she was looking through the perspective of the spirit.
Her body was dark.
I don't know. Maybe just the way the shade was shown. Like, you didn't really get to see like the whole like her the color of her hair and everything like that. Like, so I thought like maybe.
Oh, you mean before she revealed herself?
Yeah, before she revealed herself. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
She brought the spirit back.
Right. Yeah. So she can fight without them. Like she's a trained, skilled combat fighter or combatant. But that's just that's just like I said. Like, for instance, if she wants to survey the battlefield or see something and from a safe distance, she can throw the spear in the air to turn it to the sky spirit, and she can look through the eyes of that creature as it flies around.
Okay, cool.
Same with the other spirits.
Yeah, she's very interesting. Like her fighting self. Like she's interested in human side. Like, she kicked the guy out a window. Like, She was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, so you gonna
because
just
you know
go be
all of
with
the
girls?"
all of her fighting, all of her fighting instincts and training, that comes from being. That's just family tradition. That comes from her father, and that's
Right,
just something. That's just part of her maturation. But she's royalty, and that's the problem that's screwing with her mind right now. And that's what she's having a hard time dealing with. Being on Earth, she's just another girl. You know what I mean?
right.
She's really not.
See,
She's
and that's
really
that's what
not
I was
another
saying.
girl, but she has to pretend to be another girl. You know, and of
Right,
course, her
but see,
royalty doesn't mean anything here.
right. See, and that's what I was saying. Like, I could see like if anybody turns to like maybe work with War C or just start their own like thing, it could possibly be her because when you're part of royalty, your ego goes into play. But
Right.
also, I could see like whichever Power Knight goes up against the King, it should be her because that is her father. And so like I kind of see that playing into play. Like either she gonna turn and join her dad. They like, no, Roxy, what you doing? We
Well,
need
that's why
you.
Blue Zara and that's why her and Blue Zara are always arguing.
Trust you, trust her. Damn, man. See, I'm getting away from things because we got to wrap this up soon. I want to talk about Camouflage real quick, and then I want to talk about War Seed, and then we're just gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
I really like Princess Roxy. She's pretty cool. She kicked the guy out the window. You hear that part? Just like, oh, just gonna be with all these other females. You think you just not be here with me? Okay,
Yeah.
she kicks him out the window, but
Yeah, that was a shot to her.
Camouflage,
That was a shot to her ego. You know,
yeah,
she's used to men bowing down to her, doing, she does in obedience, And like I
yeah,
said, she's on. You ever watch Coming to America?
yeah, yeah.
It's,
She's the opposite. She's like, yeah. She's like
yeah,
Eddie Murphy's character. Hey,
yeah,
Bart, hop on one leg, bark like a dog. Like a dog.
exactly.
That's
So they
perfect.
to
Okay.
just think of her in those terms.
Okay. So Camouflage. Let's talk about him. He's cool. He's really cool. He's
Yeah,
kind of remind me of Transformers a little bit. I don't know. I just get Transformer vibes. You say Star Wars, but I get Transformers. I swear to God, I get Transformer vibes because like Transformers has like a lot of different characters that you really like. If they showed them more, they
hmm
could be like very popular. Like I can't think of names. I just know like Starscream, Megatron, Bumblebee, Optimus. Like those are the big four. But there's so many other Transformers that they use
right.
more would have been cool too. But so let's talk about Camouflage for a second.
Yeah, camouflage is he basically can become whatever he touches. So, if he touches a tree, for instance, his arm, he can either transform his whole body into that same wood,
Mm,
or just his arm, depending on what he needs it for. So
mm,
imagine Bruce Lee, the way Bruce Lee fights, right? But imagine instead of him having nunchucks or whatever, he just uses the environment. So like
that'd be unreal.
if he wanted to punch somebody and knock him and really knock them out before
Mm,
he can do his normal kung fu move, but but also touch a piece of metal
mm.
so he really does become Iron Fist. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he touches whatever, then he hits somebody with that. If he needs to hide, if he needs to infiltrate somewhere, he can merge into the wall, become the
Mm,
wall. You know what I mean?
mm.
He's still in his form. It's hard to see where he is because he looks exactly like what he touched.
Right.
You
The
know?
ultimate spy. I
Yeah.
would like to see him in Black Panther. I would like to see him and T'Challa like have a stealth battle. Like that'd be because T'Challa's like the king. That'd be really interesting. Camouflage pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Wait. So can he turn into animals too, or just
You
like
know, no,
environmental?
he's not like Beast Boy. He's not like Green Lantern or Plastic Man. His body stays in he still stays in the shape of a human.
Right.
It's just that his his skin changes depending on what he
Right.
touches.
So elements type of
Yeah, his whole
thing.
matter changes. Like, yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. So, all right, last but not least, let's talk about my man War C. Hey, real quick, I wanted to ask you this because Octagon's not that important, but he's a low key character that's pretty cool. Octagon's pretty cool, but I don't see I see him and Davian running into each other. I see that happening, but I think Octagon's gonna lose. Like I would hope. Actually, I would hope Davian lose because he said doesn't know how to control himself, and he's just gonna like.
That's why you gotta. That's why you gotta read issue 4 to see that fight.
Okay. I have to. That's a must. I have to, dude. Cause like I hear like some like I could see Davian riding like on like a motorcycle, just like out, just leaving. It's not called.
Well, I'll tell you this: Davian is not on Octagon's level combat wise, because Octagon's he's a professional.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
Him and Warsi kind of look alike, like a tad big. I'm saying like they both got like the blonde hair, like reaching out. They both look cool and they both look different. And by the way, Warsi looks freaking amazing. Oh my God, he looks amazing.
Thank you.
But yeah, they kind of like favor each other because you know Warsi got his swords behind him and Octagon got the little wings like when he's gliding and I like the little like combat motorcycle thing he was riding on. That was crazy.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, so Warsi, let's talk about Warsi. We're gonna wrap this up. Power Knights, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to me about Power Knight. He's what's his culture called? Like the people that he's
Zaretti.
From? Yeah, Zaretti.
Yeah, they're basically like kind of like the Klingons.
Okay.
They're a warrior clan, warrior culture. Everything's settled through combat, and it is what it is. You know, it's no big deal to them, but you know, obviously to other folks, y'all are kind of violent. But to them, it's just the way we do things. You know, only the strong survive here. So, to him, it really messed with him that he was a slave to King Sinar's. Like he couldn't deal with it. He can't deal with the fact that it happened, and he won't let it happen again. You know, that he was powerless to be somebody else's dog. Bitch. You know, yeah, basically. Yeah. So his whole plan on Earth is he has this thing called a merge program, and basically it works on 2 levels. To the general public, he's saying that it's a medical miracle. I can cure all ailments if you join my merge initiative, and you know. Exactly.
Both.
Right.
Oh, that's what that is.
What's really happening is he's taking people and he's creating this super army where he'll take an animal and mix it with a human and give that human the abilities of that animal. Mm-hmm. But the technology is still shaky. He hasn't figured out, his scientist, Dr. Nimitz, has not figured out how to balance it so that they still look human. And so they've been coming out mutated.
Right.
And so he's like, that's cool and all, but I can't really use that. You know.
Right. Not yet.
Yeah. He's trying to really say again.
Real quick. So it's been 8 years since the ship, since the Power Knight ship crash landed on Earth. And the U.S. government only had about 3 years to set up a camp, study whatever they could, and I believe Warseed is the reason why they were able to transcribe like some of the stuff from the ship.
No. Warseed has
no connection with that.
No, he has nothing to do with that.
Okay. So him. Okay.
They don't even know that the government doesn't know anything about Warseed other than his persona that he's portrayed himself to be, Alexander Crane.
Ah, that was all human based then. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Everything when the ship crashed, they basically, you know, nothing's gonna land on Earth or crash on Earth, and the military's not Johnny on the spot, right? Like we have radars, we have enough radars and technology to know when something enters the Earth's atmosphere. You know, unless it's cloaked. But in the case of the Power Knight story, they knew something crashed and they got to it, but the Knights took off before risking being captured.
Okay.
Right. So they took the ship and the Knights don't know where they took the ship.
Right.
And ever since, what do you say, 8 years or whatever?
About 8
years. They've reverse engineered what they could from the technology they found on the ship in order to combat where the ship, now basically they now know that, wow, so there are aliens out there, and they are warfaring. They do have weapons, and
Right.
so we need to basically be ready for anything. So
Right.
let's take this technology, reverse engineer it, design weapons of our own and defenses of our own. And Octagon is their main. He's basically their what's the word? He's
Avenger.
their Avenger. Or Captain America. There you go.
Yeah. He's their warrior. He's their champion, who's
Right.
basically like perfected using like
what they figured out so far.
Yeah, what they figured out so far. He's the best person for the job.
Right.
And so that's really cool. Now I actually look forward to seeing him versus Davian. But listen, guys, we all out of time. I mean, damn, Kid Comics, man. Keithan, thank you so much, Mr. Keithan Jones. Listen, y'all want to go check out this man content, you can go on kidcomics.com. Purchase yourself issue 1, Power Knights, issue 2, the Power Knights, issue 3 of the Power Knights. Get yourself a copy of Purge. And is Vegas Baby selling? Vegas Baby comics.
Vegas selling? Baby is being it's going to be reissued. So he's Chris Ward, or also known as Noble Ward. He's basically reformatting it.
Yeah.
With some updates and some new shine, some new gloss on it.
Right.
He's upgrading the book, and he's going to re-release it.
I read the mini issue on the website. Vegas Baby looks cool, and it was awesome to see him in the Power Knights. I wonder when your boy the Purge them might make an appearance. That'd be really cool too.
Yeah, they basically operate in the same universe, but we're like, the Kid Comics is still new. We're still growing, so all of that stuff is in development. I'm not one to try to do everything at once, because I don't believe in trying to act like I'm bigger than I am. I want it to be a solid, organic foundation. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and them, they didn't create all those characters overnight.
Right.
People think they did, but it didn't happen that way.
Right. And first thing first, they didn't create the characters. They just took the credit for writing it from the team that they have of people that write. But, shouts out to them.
Well, there's a mixed bag. I mean, Jack Kirby is the one, if you want to talk about credit, Jack Kirby actually is the one that didn't get the credit he deserved. Stan Lee took the lion's share of the credit. And that's always been a controversy in comics, that Jack Kirby, unfortunately, he passed before he was really giving his due for what he created. And
that's I'm sorry, just as far as credibility, Dwayne McDuffie's the same way. Yeah, yo. But listen, Power Knights, man. Like I said, guys, y'all go get your go purchase your issues. Issue 4 is out. I'm going to go buy one of those as soon as I get off. Now, I gotta get more of the Power Knights. I really respect the content that you guys show, because some people just go for gloss. Some people are just money hungry. And some people just want attention. And I appreciate you for being true and authentic with your content. It's amazing. I want more. I can't wait to see more. Guys, go purchase Power Knights. Shouts out to Mr. Keithan Jones. And thank you, Kid Comics. Oh, and shouts out to 133 Arts too. Don't they help y'all publish?
Yeah, 133 Art. I always tell people, especially independent creators who are looking for a good deal in printing, affordable and good quality, go check out 133art.com. Owned by Jason Reeves.
Yeah, shout out to Jason.
Company.
Jason actually, I'm sorry to cut you off. Jason actually the one who, because I was trying to find your website, but I went on 133 Arts, and he actually gave me the link to get to Kids comics. So shout him out, because I thought I was gonna buy your stuff from their website.
Okay.
Yeah, so shouts out to Jason for putting me on to your website. And
good looking out.
And shouts out to Apollo Jones on Facebook. But anyway, y'all, That's a wrap for today. Yo, man, thank you so much for your time, Keithan. I love the Power Nights. I want more. I want that cartoon. I want
Me
that
too.
cartoon.
Me too.
That Power Nights cartoon.
Me too, man. Thanks for having me, man. That was one of that's one of the best interviews I've enjoyed having. I'm glad. I appreciate you actually asking me about the book, among other things. So, yes, sir. Respect my
Yeah, man.
nerd.
Respect my nerves, baby, because I gotta do my research, man. I'm not finna just call you. No. We won't get down like that. Yo, but next issue, shouts out to my man Ruben in the Swag Patrol. That's gonna be our next interview coming up here. I want to say
Shouts out
we
to
don't
Ruben.
done this week, but Swag Patrol. Shouts out to Swag Patrol and my man Ruben. That's gonna be our next interview 5. But yo, we out of time. Respect my nerds to Kid Comics. Shouts out to Power Nights and my man Keithan Jones. We are out of here. Peace.
Peace.